and welcome to a t-shirt. Hopefully you can see that well enough. This is the t-shirt I got from Mona when I went yesterday, because they did such fantastic work. I had to buy one, or I had to buy something and donate to them. So basically Mona is a Catalan chimp sanctuary. Their story is pretty straightforward. There was a guy keeping some chimps in unsatisfactory conditions, and he had absolutely no incentive to stop doing so. Catalans don't have or Spanish in general, don't have the best record for animal welfare and for using animals as entertainment. I don't mean entertainment in the big old SeaWorld debate of, you know, training animals in zoos. I mean in the proper, let's lock a chimp in many chimps in a tiny metal container and only get them out to do adverts or circus work, riding out on bikes and in sparkly uniforms. So yes, not the best situation. So that's what this guy was doing. He was basically keeping the adult chimps locked up, letting them breed, taking the youngsters away, sending the youngsters out to do all the adverts or photo shoots or whatever it was that needed doing, making lots and lots of money. And every time someone complained about it, the police would knock on his door and say, "Hey, you're not allowed to do that. Here's a small paltry fine that's nothing compared to how much you're making, but we don't have anywhere to keep these chimps, so you're going to have to keep hold of them for the next until we get somewhere." Unfortunately, there never was somewhere, so this cycle just kept continuing, which I'm sure the chap loved because he was making lots of money off of it. However, one day a vet discovered this and basically set out to rescue these chimps. She got some land, managed to get some enclosures built on next to nothing budget, got some people to come look after them, and as a result they got the chimps rescued and Mona was created. So they now keep these chimps in two groups. They have what they call a family group, so they have aunties, uncles, mothers, brothers, sisters, all in together. And they also have their, what they call, I can't remember the term they use for it, actually. I think it was an all-male group, but, you know, a bachelor group, just of males who, because there's no females around, you know, absolutely fine to keep them together. They are still rescuing chimps. They are still taking them whenever they can. Although at the moment they only have about one a year that they are actually able to take. They are very much on a shoestring budget, and talking to her about, you know, the enrichment they give and the food and so on, you know, they are very strapped for cash, as most charities are. They are an NGO, so they don't have a massive amount of funding. A lot of it comes in through people visiting the sanctuary. So they rescued these chimps. They also have a group of macaques. They got called up by Spanish customs and said, "Hey, we've got a load of macaques that really desperately need rehoming, and if we can't rehome them, they're going to have to be euthanized. Can you do something about it?" And they went, "Well, we don't really have the space or the enclosure for it, but we'll do what we can." So they've knocked up a rather good enclosure. Yeah, sure, it's not, you know, fantastic standard, but for what they've needed, they've done really good work with it. And these macaques are, you know, really as happy as they can be in captivity, and they're a hell of a lot better off. One of them, I think called Peeper, was found shoved under someone's car seat in a shoebox to be trafficked across borders, to be paid, to be sold as somebody's pet. And that's the main area that Mona works with. You see, they don't take people in like British zoos do, or like a lot of zoos do, where you pay money, you go in, you see the animals, maybe get a bit of an educational message and come back out again. They really, really work on this education. So their main groups during the week are school groups. They will come in, sit down, have this little video, one-to-one talk. They will then take them round the centre, have these animals described to them, what their ailments are, what their personalities are, and really have it hammered home that these are not good animals to keep as pets or to be having in adverts and so on. And really kind of hammering home the idea that, you know, these animals, you know, should be in the wild, or at least, you know, cared for properly, not the abhorrent conditions that they were being kept in previously. So part of that is the first thing they get shown is a lot of video to kind of set up the history of the park, which I've probably butchered in this video, how it was formed, and possibly because I'm more of a zookeeper, I got a little bit teared up with this video, because you see where these animals are initially, and yeah, I've used the word abhorrent and I will keep using it. It was terrible, absolutely terrible. Then they got rescued, and then you see a shot of them eating grapes in just their indoor enclosure, their smaller indoor enclosure, and they are making such beautiful, happy noises, and noises that I recognise as them being happy, and it's just fantastic to hear. And that's before they even go out into their purpose-built main outdoor enclosure. The only reason they have the indoor enclosure is to come in at night to be secure. During the day they have a much, much larger area. So yeah, they were so happy, bless them. And it's great to see. So again, they really hammer home the education purposes, and then on the weekends they do the same but with tour groups. Not necessarily tour groups that you could imagine, like taking around historical sites or something like that, with whatever flying company of your choices, but more along the lines of you have to turn up and book a slot. So they might say, right, we'll have 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening, 2 in the afternoon, and you book those slots in. You can't do it otherwise. This place is run entirely for the benefit of the animals, and also that benefits them because they can really, within this 2-hour slot or whatever it is that you go around, really hammer home the educational purpose of what Mona is, what it's about. And it's just fantastic. I absolutely love the place. I recommend you test it out, try it out if you are ever in Catalan or that area. You should definitely go and have a look at it. I was about to stop the video and a random dog has just turned up. I don't know if you can hear the tinkling of that bell, someone's random dog has turned up. So yeah, Mona are absolutely fantastic. I will link down in the description. What else? Oh yeah, some of their chimps are fantastic. Some got terrible cases, like one had such horrendous self-directed harm and so on. He didn't walk on his hands properly, his arms were properly just mangled. One chimp who walked with a complete and utter slant in his entire body because he had back problems. But they were all fantastically happy, and all, so many of them were happy to see the keepers and things like that, so absolutely fantastic place. Can't recommend it highly enough, so I will end the video there before I ramble on too much about it. But yeah, Mona, absolutely fantastic. Can't recommend it enough.